here had to answer this Miss Universe question before you were able to get in. And so I guess it's safe to assume that everyone here is present because they want to start a revolution. And I'm pretty sure that you are looking for inspiration from the speakers and, I don't know, wanting to learn from, I guess, their experiences from starting their own revolutions. And that makes me so much more nervous and worried right now because all I did and why they invited me here was this, Postura Project. And it was just really a project between friends. And we just wanted to promote fashionalism by wearing something Filipino every day for 30 days. And I don't know if this puts me in any position to tell you or give you tips on how to start a revolution. I'm very worried if you're going to learn anything from my talk. I worry a lot. I don't know if you guys worry about the things like if you're making enough of a difference, if you are in the right career path, if you are wearing something appropriate. Like for now, I was like, would I be dressed in a blazer and lang so I'm a bit more professional? Well, apparently you know what I decided. As I was like, go big or go home, and as a wise person once told me, Kebs. And I also worry about, you know, if this is a big enough of a revolution. But then instead of sharing to you the learnings that the tips on how to start a revolution, I thought of sharing the 5 things you should stop worrying about if you want to start a revolution, because these are the things that, the fears that I had when you were starting Postura Project, and these are the things that I struggled with, and I hope that by sharing them with you and the lessons that I learned, you could be able to get through those things and lessen your burden, and so you could start on your revolution sooner. Okay, so the first thing is, I'm not sure if you guys also thought of this, but you know, sometimes you're just worried, like, I'm not the best in this field, I'm not really famous. Who am I to start a revolution? Or it's a more direct in Filipino, sino ba ako para magsimula nito? So this is our website. This is posturaproject.com. So I started it with my friends. And the thing is, I was so scared to start it because I'm not even a fashion blogger. Not even anywhere near the fashion industry. As you may have heard, I actually work for the government. My boss is actually here, Senator Lincoln, so I have to make this good. And I was just so scared of what people would say. But, okay, so backstory. The reason why I started Postura Project is because I work with GK a lot. I work a lot with Gawad Kalingan. A lot of my friends like Narina, Jacinto, and Lirio, they started their own social enterprises. And a lot of my friends also, not with GK, but, you know, started their own fashion enterprises. And it was my own personal commitment to support their businesses by buying it, by wearing it, and by writing about it. And then I discovered Instagram. And I started Instagramming, you know, the stuff that I was wearing. And I just posted this on Facebook. Sorry, my face is like big, sorry. I posted this on Facebook, and little did I know that my friend Sarah Meyer was also doing this, like since 2011. And she was like, yeah, let's do something with it. Let's do a 30-day challenge. And so we got the conversation from Facebook. We got it to Twitter and then email. We started brainstorming, and then I decided to bring 2 of my friends to the project. That's David Dizon, one of the top fashion bloggers in the Philippines right now, and Knoxville Bastro, another advocate of fashionalism. And I was so scared because I'm not even remotely fashion forward. I just like wearing colorful things and high heels. That's it. And suddenly I had to post outfit photos, and it was just not me. And so I was just thinking, okay, what will other people say about it? I'm not a fashion blogger to begin with. I'm not even the best, I don't know, fashionista or anything. But as I talked to Sarah about my worries, I realized that I was not starting any other fashion blog. I was starting a movement, an advocacy. And I don't care if I'm not fashion forward. I don't care if I'm a top fashion blogger. All I know is I'd rather be passion forward than fashion forward, because this is the #1 qualification that you have to have if you want to start something and create change. Passion. You have to be extremely passionate about it, passionate enough to actually do something about it. Because the thing is, people always wait for themselves to become famous first. Like, you feel that you have to be in some sort of position to talk about something. But the thing is, if everyone, just sits and waits for all the big people, the number ones, the bests, the leading authorities in the field, if we all just wait for them to start moving before we do, the world is going to be in very big trouble. Everyone has to pull their own weight. And that is the first lesson that I learned from the Postura Project, is that anybody can start a revolution. You have to stop waiting to be somebody famous, to have this amount of Twitter followers, to have this amount of Facebook fans. Anybody can start a revolution. For me, there's just 3 things you need. Extreme passion for your cause, extreme passion, enough to do something about it, and the willingness and the commitment to actually see it through. Because it's one thing to be passionate about it, and another thing to actually see it through to the end. And we go to worry number 2. I don't think my idea is big enough yet. And history has a role to play here, because when we think of revolutions, we think of bloody battles, or life or death situations, or rallies where we burn effigies of politicians, or NGOs, charities, and those God-forsaken fun runs. I mean, sorry, I don't like running. And of course, we have some in tech also, Steve Jobs and Apple. And these are great stories of revolutions. These are amazing stories of revolutions. But the thing is, I don't think that we should confine ourselves to just these as pictures of change, because these are grand revolutions. But they don't always have to be so big. Sometimes revolutions also happen in small ways. As I told you, Postura is very straightforward, very simple. It's just a 30-day challenge to wear something Filipino every day. And patronizing local products isn't even a new idea. But what we did was, it was something more than just patronizing local products, but buying, wearing, and talking about the local products that you're wearing, and doing it every day. That's the goal that we had for Postura Project. And that may be a small thing, but I think that the biggest accomplishment of Postura Project was this. It was taking the question of what should I wear today, and the question of what good can I do for the country today, and making them one and the same. The biggest accomplishment for me of Postura Project was making nationalism accessible to everyone. Because let's be honest about it, not everyone can commit to a full-time job in an NGO or in the government. But this one, everyone can do. Everyone can wear something Filipino every day. And sometimes revolutions don't have to be that one big defining moment where you change the course of history forever. Sometimes revolutions start with personal choices, daily choices, until those daily choices become your commitments, until those commitments become unwavering convictions. And before you know it, you've started a revolution. So I guess this is what I'm trying to say. Revolutions are not one size fits all. It's not just all the grand, big leaps and jumps, but it could be something small as well. Small revolutions are as important as big ones. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should stop thinking big. All I'm saying is that thinking big should never stop you from starting something now. And fear number 3. Can I actually change the world? With the emphasis on I. When we started the Postura Project, I was scared because I was like, do people really want to see my face for 30 days straight? I mean, really? So I was like, yes, thank you. So I was like, there really has to be a participatory element in the project. And so we came up with this call to action. We wanted other people to submit their own looks too. And I know you guys already know this, but I just really want to emphasize it. Revolutions are not about you. Revolutions are more than just what you can do to create change, but they're about what you enable other people to do. It's never about gaining power, but it's about empowering others. And fear number 4. There are so many problems to solve. I mean, just the Philippines has a lot. Where do I even start? So this is my take on the DOT slogan. It's more fun in the Philippines It's more fun to be a change maker in the Philippines because we have so many problems. You are never but a lot of problems means a lot of opportunities for us change makers to actually make a difference, create change, to contribute to nation building. And it also means that with all those problems, you could have your pick of whatever field you want to revolutionize. So what I'm saying is that just because everyone is into the popular social causes like saving the environment or building schools or building classrooms, building houses, or fighting corruption, it doesn't mean that you also have to be in those same things. I don't know, maybe you're a DJ or a rapper and you want to revolutionize the Philippine music industry. Or you like Diablo, you're a video game addict, and who here likes Diablo? See? And I don't know, maybe you can use your video game know-how and develop a game to revolutionize public education, health reform. There's just so many possibilities. All you have to do is find your own revolution, choose your own weapon, and claim it. For me, my weapon, my revolution is in Filipino creativity. This has always been my mission, to use and channel creativity for nation building, and I'm always trying to find more ways to make nation building more accessible to people. And that's why I started Postura Project, because it made it more concrete to be nationalistic. And what my dream for Postura is for it to be a window for the world to see what the Philippines is capable of. It's like saying, you first world countries, you might have all the technology and the money, but even without it, this is what we're capable of. Just imagine what we can do with more. And it's like saying US, China, Europe, you haven't seen anything from the Philippines yet. Am I right? Yeah. So again, revolutions are not one size fits all. That's my revolution. I guess my challenge now to you is to find your own, to not just adopt whatever other people are doing, but to really find what you're passionate about. And lastly, fear number 5 is, I guess, the hardest one to answer because, I don't know, people just want to know how to do it. I think they're expecting like a step-by-step guide. But I guess to answer that, let me tell you the story of this picture. When I started the Postura Project, one of my biggest fears was that I didn't know how to pose. So I researched fashion blogger poses. And he said, what you do is you hold your hair, look a little bit sad now. And it was funny, like leave your mouth half open. I tried doing this and all I looked like was deranged. Okay, so this doesn't work for me. Let's try something else. So I asked myself, okay, what am I good at? And the only thing that popped into my head was that I'm really good at jumping. So I started jumping, eventually started flying. So I flew in flats, I flew in heels, no Photoshop, just like all jumping. I flew into rooms. I flew out of rooms. This one's my favorite. I flew through a forest in 6-inch heels. This is my favorite picture. It looked like a gazelle. But people would always ask me, oh, how do you do it? How do you jump into those? How do you levitate? And I always find it so hard to answer because there's really nothing to it. I just jump and jump until I get the right shot. That's it. Sometimes it takes 3 jumps, sometimes it takes 25. I'm not kidding. I sprained my ankle on day 25, but it was worth it, I think. But it's the same thing with asking me how do I start a revolution. I can tell you the step-by-step guide because there's none. You just have to jump. You just have to do it. Stop looking for that stupid manual. There's no manual. Okay, there's none. We live in a world where it's just changing so rapidly. The rules are being broken left and right, and we have the luxury to create our own rules. And each new rule is only as good as the next one. We live in a world where we are demanded to draw our own maps, to create change in our own way, and to blur the lines between possible and impossible. So if you're looking for a step-by-step guide, you're not going to find one. Draw your own map. I don't know, just do it. Fail. Just jump and jump and jump until you get the right, until you sprain your ankle or something. So I guess if there's one thing you can get, if there's one thing that I want to remember from my talk, it's this. I've been trained that the goal is to always work towards making the distance between idea and reality as short as possible. It's a constant goal to just, go from an idea and go from a vision and turn it into execution. Because the thing is, we love meetings. A lot of people would tell me, hey, I want to meet with you, I want to discuss this idea. But the thing is, what will you get out of discussing the idea with me? Do you want my approval? You don't need anybody's approval. The only go signal you need is the one from yourself. So what I'm going to ask of you now is a little favor. I want you guys to pledge your revolutions to me and to the rest of the people in this room. So I would record it on my camera so that I just have something to hold over your heads. So I want everyone to raise their right fist, like KatipunanAve. Pretend you're really starting a revolution. Okay, and I'll flash the word on the screen, but please repeat after me. I say your name. Pledge to claim and start my own revolution. I will stop sitting on my ideas, stop making excuses. And start coupling my vision with conviction and execution. I will make my own map, create my own rules, and change the game. Because I can. I pledge to do something good for my country daily. No matter how small. Like taking on the Postura Project challenge. And wearing something Filipino made every day. I pledge to never stop dreaming too big. For myself and for my country. Sorry, it's not done. For it is in dreaming big that we truly go far. It is in not limiting our visions that we achieve the extraordinary. It is in holding on to and acting on our noble ideals that we are able to create change. I will never let anybody tell me that my dreams are too big. Because I know better. Thank you so much for pledging your revolution. So if all goes well, there will be 400 new revolutions once we finish with this TEDx. And I don't know if all those 450 will actually get off the ground, if you're gonna actually succeed. But I guess all I know is, if all 400 of you guys, all 400 of us, will try our darn hardest, if all of us here will never stop fighting, never stop dreaming big for ourselves and for our country, what a Philippines we could be. Thank you very much.